I'm going to copy something that I appreciate my colleague, Councilmember Sydney Katz, does, which is have everyone who has joined us today introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Nathaniel Parks. I'm from Montgomery County Child Welfare.
Jenny Porter, also from Montgomery County Child Welfare.
Tiffany Flakes Williams, a foster parent for Montgomery County for over the past almost 5 years.
Becky Smith, also a foster parent for the past, I think, 8 years.
Lisa Merkin, Child Welfare Services.
Oscar Manson, Social Services Officer.
Ann Kovach, foster parent for about the last year with Montgomery County.
Sarah Lewis, Montgomery County Child Welfare.
I'm Tom Grazio from Montgomery County Child Welfare.
Great. Well, thank you all for coming, and I think the fact that you forgot the number of years is a good sign. It's a wonderful thing, and that is exactly why we're here today, because the month of May is to take time out of our busy schedules to really recognize those who are foster parents, those who work to help and support our foster parents, and also raise awareness about the wonderful work that is done. And we're glad to have everyone here with us this month and today. And I believe that this year, the theme for National Foster Care Month is engaging youth, building supports, and strengthening opportunities. We're really focusing this year and this month in particular on looking at how we support our foster care youth as they're transitioning from their homes. And that's probably also something we need to help the families and the parents as people are transitioning. So again, I just want to thank everyone for being here today, and I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Councilmember Albornoz.
Thank you very much, Council Vice President Stewart. It is an honor and privilege to join you in this important recognition. As chair of the Health and Human Services Committee, we often hear stories from providers, stories from frontline workers, stories from families regarding the challenges within our child welfare system. But we are fortunate in Montgomery County to have extraordinary individuals who have chosen to not only be foster parents, but to help navigate what we know is an overly complex system. And I especially want to thank the workers, the staff members, the leaders who are in this space, dealing with the extraordinary administrative challenges, the emotional toll that it takes when you hear the cases before us. And I want to acknowledge the strength that they have shown, particularly these last 5 years, when we have been through unprecedented challenges and had every system, but particularly this one, tested in ways that none of us could have ever imagined. I have the added benefit of having a clinical licensed social worker as my chief of staff. And Beth Schumann often talks about this system and speaks in the first person and has never forgotten the stories and the incredible work that is done. And so this month in particular, this recognition is particularly important to me. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to echo what Councilmember Albornoz said, because I think all of our offices benefit from having Beth with us and her knowledge. So, all right. So we are going to first hear from Rebecca.
I don't want to forget anything because this is pretty important. But hi, my name's Becky Smith. I actually also work for Montgomery County. I work for the Department of Health and Human Services in our maternal child health programs. So I've been familiar with child welfare for a long time. We often share cases together, work with the same families. But I really gained my appreciation for child welfare, the staff, when my husband and I decided to become foster parents. You all may remember it when it was 2017 and there was a lot of talk about building walls and deporting people. We got really nervous that there were going to be a lot of people deported and their children left behind. And my husband and I are both Spanish speakers, so we thought that would be a great role for us. We could become foster parents to these children as they figured out how to get back reunited with their parents or how to find somewhere else to go. So we signed up, we took the training, and we got certified. And thankfully, we've never been called on upon for that reason. The deportations, I don't think, are happening as we were worried about. But my husband and I found our role in the foster care program anyway. Oops, sorry, I got to. So currently we provide respite care and short-term care, mostly to adolescents. And we've probably had 20, 30 different children in our home over the past 8 years. But I got to tell you a secret: when the phone rings and I see it's a 240777 extension, I think, oh, can I answer it? Can I answer it? Do I want to answer it? And because I'm never sure if we have it in us that time. Do we have enough energy? Do we have enough time? But to be very honest, every time we're glad we did it. Every time we learn something from the children, we gain affection for the children. Sometimes we learn great big things like how complicated the court systems are and how well they protect the children. Sometimes we learn really little things, like the last child we had at our house taught us a new delicious way to make Brussels sprouts. So I really want to thank the social workers. Some are very names that know me, and I know them only by phone because we talk a lot. They've been so helpful, so easy to work with, all the staff. And I especially, though, want to thank all the other foster parents. My husband and I, Jeff Hopkins, we actually kind of take the easy way out. We just do short-term, we just do adolescents. And so maybe we have a placement every, for 2 days, for a month, or, every couple of months, but it's nothing intense. There's people out there that are doing 24/7, 365 days a year with their foster placements, and they're making our community stronger with all their work. And I just want them all to know that they have my full admiration and appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Becky, for all you do. And now we'll hear from Tiffany.
Hello again, I'm Tiffany Flakes Williams, and I stated my wife and I have been fostering now for almost 5 years. And we were blessed at our first placement. We brought her home, excuse me, at 3 weeks old from the hospital when I was pregnant. Thank you. When I was, thank you. When I was pregnant with our youngest daughter, so we have 2 bouncing 4-year-old sassy girls in our home, and we are currently fostering a 18-month-old. He was 16 months when he came. I became a foster parent and a social worker because of my grandmother, who was fostering when I was a child. And to have that experience as well as be a social worker is the most rewarding thing. It's not easy all the time, but when you think about the fact that for one night or however many nights that you can provide a safe place, a stable place, a warm meal, and things that we take for granted to a child. You have the ability to change the trajectory of that child's life. And the most rewarding thing is when they go home. We adopted our first daughter, but every child that we've had since then has went back home. And that's what we strive for. If the opportunity comes where they need to be long-term, of course we will say yes. But if it doesn't, we say great, because we can't imagine not having our children with us at night. We can't imagine not having our children with us, even when we go on vacation. We take them everywhere. So for them to go back home, whether or not it's with the parent or with a family member, that's a rewarding thing. So we're always trying to recruit foster. Please, if you can do it, if you have a heart that beats, it has love inside. That's all you need, because love will make you do some of the craziest things. Love will make you answer your phone at 5 o'clock in the evening to take a 2-month-old who comes to you with nothing, and you find yourself at the College Park CVS, because it's obviously 24 hours, buying a can of milk. That was our recent story. But yes, it's been a blessing. We've had great social workers. Jenny was our social worker after our previous social worker left, and we've had great experiences, and we continue to have great experiences. And I just can't say enough how fulfilling it is to be able to do something for the most innocent and the most vulnerable of kids, especially in this area. We foster any child. We are like a rainbow family, literally, and we enjoy doing it. We had a placement for Christmas who made me brush up on my 2 years of Spanish in college, and I was like, I didn't think I would have to do this again, but hey, we're working it and we're making it work. But yes, I'm just grateful to be able to serve, and I thank you guys again for inviting me here to be able to speak. I'm sorry I'm long-winded, but I just want to make sure if I could say what I can say to get someone to open that phone up, open up that heart to say, yes, let me at least try it, then please do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tiffany and Becky. This is why we do these proclamations and why we bring people together to recognize those in our communities who open up their hearts and open up their homes, and then also raise awareness so others can do the same. So thank you so much for your stories. So we're going to read the proclamation.
Whereas in 1853, Charles Loring Brace, a minister, founded a program called Children's Aid New York after noticing an influx of children living neglected and homeless in the streets of New York City. The program provided housing, food, fresh air, and programs and schooling to support thousands of orphaned children.
Whereas in 1919, the Children's Bureau, as part of the United States Department of Labor, published minimum standards of child welfare, highlighting the importance of keeping a child in their own home whenever possible, and if removal from a home was necessary, offering an environment of home life through foster placements. And
in 1988, President Reagan announced a presidential proclamation that National Foster Care Month would be established in May.
And whereas Foster Care Month is a time to acknowledge the 391,098 American children in foster care and volunteers, mentors, child welfare professionals, and policymakers who help them find permanent homes and connections. And
whereas the Montgomery County Council recognizes the importance of foster care and the impact it has on the lives of foster children.
now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby proclaim May 2024 as Foster Care Awareness Month.